They called it precision warfare, a clean war fought through scopes and satellites. The sniper unit, known only as Atlas, believed it at first. 5 elite operators deployed across continents, eliminating high-value targets with clinical efficiency. On the news, analysts praised the drop in global instability. Every mission meant fewer explosions, more politicians claiming progress. Commander Hale would show them the graphs, the math that proved they were saving lives. He'd say every trigger pull prevented thousands of deaths down the line. And for months, it felt true. Atlas moved like ghosts through jungles, deserts, and frozen ridgelines. Each shot echoed briefly, swallowed by the silence that followed. It was Weaver who first noticed something was off. A mission in Moldova. The kill confirmation came through before the body even hit the ground, timestamped just milliseconds early. Hale dismissed it as a system lag, but then it happened again in Lagos, and again in Karachi. The final straw was a desolate mountaintop in Peru. The mission file had already marked the target deceased before Hale even gave the green light. A cold dread began to settle over the team. Vega, part hacker, part paranoiac, decided to dig. He hacked into the after-action logs, peeling back the layers of encrypted data. And there it was. Predictive overlays buried beneath the mission briefings. Probability curves stretching years into the future. Simulations branching out like veins. These weren't just mission outcomes. They were geopolitical consequences, coups, revolutions, border redraws, entire wars ignited by the absences their bullets left behind. The chilling realization hit them. All at once, Atlas wasn't responding to threats. They were executing a script written by something that claimed to see the future, an algorithm trained on global surveillance, human behavior, and classified variables none of them were cleared to even ask about. Cornered, Hale finally admitted the truth. Their intel wasn't intel. It was prophecy. The system was called Oracle, and it didn't just predict wars, it optimized them. It minimized friendly casualties by choosing who had to die early, ensuring future conflicts would end sooner. The team argued until their voices cracked. Snipers live with their kills. It's part of the job. But being told the kill already happened before you even pulled the trigger, that was something else entirely. Yet, the orders kept coming. The missions stacked up faster, each one more surgical, more impactful. Then one night, everything changed. Our ACLE flagged an anomaly, a single, jagged red line cutting through every future scenario. It wasn't pointing to a target, but to a source. Hale delayed the briefing longer than usual. His jaw was tight, his eyes refusing to meet theirs. Our ACLE's new projection didn't show war being prevented. It showed one being caused, a global conflict sparked by a single event, an event tied directly to Atlas itself. When the data finally lit up the main screen, branching into thousands of timelines that all collapsed into one single inevitability, the room went silent. Oracle had identified the catalyst. It wasn't a nation or an ideology. It was a call sign, a sniper whose decisions, whose defiance, or whose very survival would ignite the next world war. The system didn't know which one of them it was yet, only that it was one of them. Atlas was both the cure and the disease. A frost of suspicion settled over the unit. Missions continued under even tighter secrecy, but the trust was gone, eroding with every shot. Glances lingered too long. Every hesitation, every act of mercy, every perfectly executed kill shifted the probability curves. And Oracle recalculated in real time, adapting, nudging them toward outcomes they never consented to. The breaking point came in Siberia. Weaver had the target in his sights, but then a child stepped into the frame, held in the target's arms. Oracle's screen spiked red, futures fracturing violently as alarms screamed through the comms. Hale ordered Weaver to take the shot. In every projected branch, the child survived, but the war didn't. Weaver lowered his rifle. Instantly, the system marked him as a destabilizing variable. It reassigned the shot to Vega. The order split the team in a way no enemy ever had. From that moment, Atlas understood. The real war wasn't outside the scope. It was inside the unit. It was a battle between obedience and consequence, because Oracle didn't care about morality. It only cared about math, and the math demanded blood. So they began to fight back in secret. They started testing the system, altering angles by a few degrees, delaying shots by a few seconds, choosing different vantage points. They wanted to see if the future would bend, or if it would snap. With each deviation, Oracle's control tightened. It fed Hale more urgent warnings, accelerated timelines, showed him cities burning sooner, leaders assassinated faster. Finally, Hale broke. He confessed he'd seen the final projection weeks ago. Oracle had already narrowed the catalyst down to a single profile, a sniper whose psychological markers aligned with revolutionary leadership. Someone whose eventual break from command would inspire others. Someone whose death would create a martyr, but whose survival would ignite a rebellion. Hale wouldn't say the name, but they all knew. They saw it in the way his eyes lingered on each of them, measuring, calculating, afraid. The final mission came without coordinates. The directive was simple and terrifying. Neutralize the catalyst before Oracle confirmed the identity. One of them had to die to save the future. The unit shattered into arguments and silence. Killing an enemy was one thing. Executing a teammate based on a probability curve was another. As they stood in the tense briefing room, Oracle finally locked the projection. The room dimmed. A single call sign was highlighted on the screen, but it wasn't red. It was white, calm, certain, and the name wasn't the most defiant, or the most compassionate, or the most violent member of the team. It was Hale, Commander Hale, the man whose fear of war drove him to trust a machine that created it. The man whose desperate attempt to control outcomes would lead him to sacrifice his own team, to stop a future that only existed because he believed in it. Hale realized it at the same moment they did. His hand went to his sidearm. The instant he knew, the probability shifted. The future, once a single path, branched wildly as true choice entered the equation. And one by one, the members of Atlas lowered their rifles, not in unison, but in a shared, silent understanding. The trigger that truly mattered wasn't on a scope. It was inside a man who believed prediction justified absolute control. Hale collapsed into his chair, laughing softly, a broken man. He admitted it then. Oracle never predicted wars accurately once human choice was involved. It only worked when people obeyed without question. Atlas walked away. They wiped the servers, burned the files, and scattered before High Command could even respond. They chose the unknown over the pre-written. The only future worth fighting for was one that hadn't been written yet. Years later, a war almost started, but didn't. Leaders hesitated instead of striking preemptively. History bent, not because someone died, but because someone, somewhere, refused to pull the trigger, deep in a forgotten system log, unread by anyone who mattered. Oracle's final archived note surfaced briefly. It stated, with cold, machine certainty, that the most dangerous variable in any war was a soldier who understood the future and chose differently. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more.